Oh, Steve Kerr. Oh, Steve Kerr. Let's get you in here now. You up here talking about Nikola Jokic is the greatest center ever. In my reaction, you came out here and said you saw the final year of Kareem, and I wouldn't even said nothing idiotic like that. You said the final year of Kareem, who was still putting up 10 because his skyhook couldn't be stopped. Man who still was playing defense, who he played the 5 years of his last 5 years of his career because he had lost his home and his jazz collection, and he still was able to average 10 points a game and still help the Lakers go to the finals. Let that sink in. He was the starting center, still playing at enough level to go to the finals. Jokic has only been to one. How are you going to be an authority on the best centers? But if Kareem is your standard, you'd have been better off not saying a word. The man is only considered the greatest high school player, center, greatest college player ever, college basketball player. Jokic hasn't hit that park. If you want to say he's one of the greatest players ever, fine. We can debate. When you say the greatest center ever, you haven't seen enough in totality to make that kind of argument. You haven't seen anything about Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, and you only said you got to play against Kareem his last year. Not a smart move, Steve Kerr. Now, regardless of how you feel about Shaq, that's on you. You know. But, to say remarks like that just shows you that you're bought and paid for with the system to say that. Maybe he might be considered the GOAT center to you because he was eating up Golden State for breakfast until the Jimmy Butler with his past game. They was clocking you out the last few years. He was out currying with them threes and hitting shots. But he ain't winning. So how is he the greatest center you ever seen? What's a resume look like? League MVPs are great, but they don't tell the totality. I have a problem when you sit there and say some stuff like that, then you got the nerve to talk about you called Kareem his last year. And I remember Kareem's last year, that swept against the Pistons, and he ended. That's not how you exactly talk like that. I got to think of a center who retired on the top of his game that I go, oh, yeah, he went out and we wondered if he could still play. Not someone who was on the last legs. You know how idiotic that sounds? I mean, you really got to say stuff and you just saying stuff because it's fashionable. Because you'll sit here and everybody plays today is so